Godless Engineer sent me some questions to answer, so here are my answers. Number 1, what is your religious background? I don't really have much of a religious background to speak of. I did believe in God when I was a kid, but it was basically just a piece of trivia. My parents were Christians, but only nominally so. They didn't really practice it outside of, the stuff everybody does, like Christmas and Easter and that kind of thing. I was never told, don't do X because God doesn't like it, or you have to do X because God says so. So I believed in God, but God's existence was totally inconsequential. Number 2, what made you start questioning your faith? Pretty much the moment that it occurred to me that you could not believe in God, that position immediately made more sense to me. As soon as I heard somebody actually bring up the question of whether God does in fact exist, I instantly thought, yeah, probably not. Number 3, what made you start identifying as an atheist? I don't remember precisely when I started identifying as an atheist. I presume it was sometime in junior high or high school. Probably around the time I started encountering people who told me that I ought not be an atheist. Sorry, I have a cat running around me causing mischief. Number 4, what is the difference in your worldview or your personality between when you were religious and now when you aren't? Since it wasn't really all that much of a change for me, I can't say that there are any differences of which I'm aware. Number 5, what made you become an active voice on YouTube? I had been a big fan of the atheist channels on YouTube for years before I got involved. And the reason why I got involved is because I was a fan of a few channels that approached atheism in a particular philosophical way that stopped making as much content as they used to. And I thought there were more things to say in the way that they were saying them, so I tried to step in to pick up where they left off. And this was channels like Theoretical Bullshit and Theremin Trees. Number 6, there are many new and upcoming atheist activists on YouTube. What advice can you give them as far as putting out content for the community? Well, I'd recommend trying to find a niche. As I said, there was a particular approach that I was a fan of, and the people who were making videos in the way that I liked weren't making as many videos as they used to, so I did that, and it worked out pretty well for me. So if you have an expertise in history or biology or geology, I think you'll probably do the best if you focus on talking about those fields. Number 7, what would you tell the young atheist in the closet watching this video? Well, I guess it really depends on what's at stake. I've never had to deal with a lot of anti-atheist prejudice myself, so it's pretty hard for me to give advice to people in that situation. I think if they're even able to watch this video, the hardest obstacle's already been overcome, because they know that there are other atheists out there who are accepting of them. The people for whom I have the most concern are the ones who haven't discovered that. Number 8, what subject in our current social environment do you feel needs more attention or should be at the forefront of conversation? I don't know if it should be at the forefront of conversation quite yet, but something that we should be talking more about are the ways in which automation is going to affect human labor. Some people are understandably concerned that they are going to have to compete with machines for jobs. Some automation will eliminate opportunities for people to work for a living. And what I think we should be trying to figure out are ways in which machines can eliminate the need for people to work for a living.